there's no point at all, in dreaming small.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this on social media, it's great to see you. Do check out my YouTube, subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to see more of these videos, if you're enjoying my new venture with YouTube. Today I wanted to talk a bit about patient advocacy, what it is, how I got involved and how other people can get involved too, because I get asked a lot by people how they can get involved in this work, what it is, what it means, what options are there available to do this kind of work, and so on and so forth. So I came into this work almost accidentally. It wasn't planned, I didn't set out to become a patient advocate. When I did my first advanced care plan with my hospice nurse in 2011 at the age of 17, so my end of life plan, I said to my hospice nurse, I want to make a difference. I don't want to die and nothing to be different or better because of me and my life not to have meant anything. I want to make a difference. She then asked me if I wanted to do some filming for the hospice. So in 2011, I was filmed by a journalist who was working with the hospice, talking about how the hospice support me, what it means to me, being a young adult with a life-limiting condition, and so on. And this journalist, Liz, who's still a part of my life today, she recommended that I start a blog. And I thought that was a great idea. I quite enjoy writing. Despite the fact that I hated English at school, I actually quite enjoy writing, especially educational stuff, advocacy, awareness, that I now know I love, but I didn't know at the time that I loved writing. So I thought, yeah, that would be great. But it actually took me about 18 months before I committed and started my blog, which originally was called Overcoming Obstacles and then changed to Lucy's Light. And it was originally a blogger blog and is now on my self-hosted Lucy Watts website. So it's amalgamated into that website. However, even though I did the blog and the filming, I still wanted more. So in 2013, I was saying to my hospice nurse, you know, Bev, I really want to do more. I want to make a difference. I want to use my experience to benefit others. Bev heard that Together for Short Lives, the children's palliative care charity, were looking for a young person to speak at their reception in the House of Commons on the transition from children's to adults, health services and palliative care services. Bev nominated me for that, and when they asked me, I accepted. I'd never given a speech before. Up to that point, a speech was actually my idea of a worst nightmare. Public speaking was not something I ever wanted to do. It was something I had nightmares about. It was just so far removed from me. But something twigged in me that day, and I thought, well, let's give it a go. Let's see how I get on. So I set about writing this speech, and in November 2013, I went up to the House of Commons. Talk about starting at the top. I went up to the House of Commons with my hospice nurse, one of my hospice carers, and my mum. We went to this reception in the strangers' dining room, and I went up onto the stage halfway through the event and I delivered my speech. Now, I say delivered my speech, I read off my papers like this the entire time, no connection with the audience, but then I looked up at the end of my speech and the whole room erupted into applause, and it was like I'd found my new purpose. I could make a difference. This was something I could do to use my experience to benefit others. And ever since then, I've not really stopped. I started working closely with Together for Short Lives on very different pieces of work around clinical policy, research, and so on and so forth. As one of their young Avengers, they were called at the time, now young experts, and also in an ambassadorial role. I then got involved as an ambassador of Dreams Come True, a wish granting charity, as a global youth ambassador of the International Children's Palliative Care Network. And it's just grown and grown and grown. More and more charities. I think I'm involved with about 9 or 10 different charities. I also do a lot of advocacy and campaigning with the NHS, working at a strategic level on policy, on quality improvement, patient experience, patient care, patient involvement and co-production. My work with the NHS is on many different topics, as I've just said, but it's working at a board and strategic level. So I sit on various committees, including the NHS Assembly, the Personalised Care Strategic Co-Production Group, the Children with Complex Needs and Special Educational Needs Board, and others, including the End of Life Commissioning Steering Group. So many different committees. I then go to a lot of events, I give a lot of speeches, co-lead workshops, deliver training, and so on and so forth. Other work I've done is around campaigning off my own back, working with other people on projects and campaigns, co-leading research into young disabled people's lives, palliative care, dignity therapy interventions, shared decision making, and many different other types of research. Then there's other things like media commentating, all my speaking work I do, so I go to a lot of medical and healthcare conferences and deliver speeches, disability conferences and events and give speeches. I go to a lot of meetings. I co-facilitate workshops, lots and lots of different things that I do. I work especially around personalised care, personal health budgets, transition to adulthood, patient experience, patient involvement, complex health needs, life-limiting conditions, and especially palliative care, amongst many other things. And this work I do nationally within the UK, so I'm quite well known in the UK. Last year, 2019, I was named the 9th most influential disabled person in Britain, just to show you how far I've come in the years I've been doing this work. But I also work internationally on palliative care and universal health coverage, including working with the World Health Organization. So I've got quite a reach. I'm also well known online. I'm a source of a lot of peer mentorship and support. I do a lot of supporting of other disabled people, other advocates. I work closely with other advocates. Then there's things like blogging, writing articles, appearing in podcasts. There's so many different things that I can do. And even these videos on YouTube, some of these will have a patient advocacy type feel to them, where I'm trying to advocate on behalf of patients, people with illnesses, people with palliative care needs, and so on. My work has taken many different, I don't know what you'd say, directions. Many of them, or all of them, I never planned, and it's amazing what you can achieve. Now, my life is given over to my work, so patient advocacy requires a lot of commitment, a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, a lot of sacrifice in many respects. You have to be willing to sacrifice your time. You need to pace yourself. You need to manage your energy to get the most out of your patient advocacy. But you can do many different things. You can do writing blogs. You can do giving speeches, appearing in media, like on the news or on the radio. You can do podcasts. You can do YouTube videos. You can write articles for other websites. There's things like The Mighty. There's Huffington Post. Many different other websites that exist that can support this kind of work. You can get involved with pharma and rare disease drugs. You could get involved in policy, such as working with the NHS or national policy with the government. You could work within disability rights and independent living. You know, there's so many different ways you can get involved, and also sitting on committees, getting involved with boards, you know, that exist, and looking for patient advocates, patient experience leaders, lived experience leaders, whatever they might term it. It's finding those opportunities and working out what ones are feasible for you with your illness, what is possible, and also what makes best use of your skills. If you find public speaking your worst nightmare, and it's going to stress you out something chronic to give a speech, much as I encourage people to push their boundaries, perhaps don't look at speaking. Perhaps do other things, you know, sitting on a board, or if you don't find making YouTube videos too frightening, instead of doing speeches, you can make videos. You can even send videos to conferences of you speaking rather than you going there directly, especially if you can't travel. I do a lot of speaking remotely, so I will join by Skype, Zoom, Link, any other number of programs, or I will send a pre-recorded video to a conference because I can't always travel. That is absolutely fine. It's another accessibility need for a lot of people. They can't travel to events. Meetings you can often participate in remotely, so it doesn't, just because you can't always get there doesn't mean you can't participate. There are so many different avenues you can explore and ways you can get involved. It's about finding the opportunities that work for you, working out how much you're able to do, so don't oversubscribe and overcommit yourself and then feel like you're letting people down. Start slowly, build up, test the water, see what you like. You know, you might try something and find you absolutely hate it. You might go to committee meetings, for example, and find you absolutely find them boring, but actually you find research and speaking very engaging and exciting. So find what works for you, work within your limitations and your needs, and see what you can achieve. It's amazing what one can achieve when you put your mind to it. I obviously have an MBE now, I have an honorary master's degree, I was named the 9th most influential disabled person in Britain. I've been recognised for my work, but the fact is, what gives me the pleasure is the doing of the work. It's not the awards, it's the doing of the work. So you have to be in it for the love of the work. It's not about recognition and awards and so on. You have to do it because you love what you do and you have the passion and drive to do it unseen, unheard, unrecognised, thankless, because it's hours and hours of unseen and unthanked work. So you have to be able to drive yourself day after day to do this work. So I hope this video has been interesting. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Leave your comments below. Have you got involved in patient advocacy? Do you have any questions about patient advocacy? What kind of work do you do? How do you get involved? What subjects do you advocate on? Leave it all in the comments below. And if you've got any questions for me, please feel free to leave those below as well. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you can to see new videos come up. It's great for people to see the videos and raise awareness and educate people through these videos as another avenue. It's a very new thing for me, so you know it's a slow build, but I hope I can grow a following and make a difference on YouTube. And I'll see you next time.